I give you guys a lot of advice on this channel. I constantly point out the places you could be better and the mistakes you're making. So to be fair to everyone who watches this, I wanted to point out the 5 biggest mistakes I've made. One of them actually almost ended my entire streaming career. That's right. So these are the 5 things I wish I had known before I started streaming. Let's go. Hey, my name is Eljayem with streamscheme.com. I'm also a variety streamer over at twitch.tv/Eljayem_. Links to both those in the description. And if you do happen to check out streamscheme.com, there's actually over 400 fully free guides and information for you. If you don't have a video on this channel covering something, I promise there is a guide over on streamscheme.com. As always with these videos, before I jump into the meat and potatoes of it all, I have a question for you. What is the biggest mistake you have made on Twitch? Seriously, go down, chuck it in the comments and be honest with yourself, with me, with all the other commenters, because you could really help someone. You could stop someone making the same mistake. So go have a look at those. And of course, there are time codes down there as well in the top comment and in the description. So if you want, you can jump ahead to any part of this video. But other than that, let's get into it. The first mistake I made when I first started out could be seen as a blessing or a curse. For me, it very much leaned more into a curse though. I was obsessed with my analytics. After every single stream, I would stare at what time I got followers, my go lives, how they did, how many chatters I had, unique, active, everything. I broke it down intensely, ripped the streams apart, and then I decided whether the stream was good or bad based off those analytics. But this was very, very wrong. I went through a section of playing a game that I absolutely loved on stream, Minecraft. Everyone does, there's no surprise there. And it was great. I had huge followers coming in every single night. I was playing hardcore, we had a server. It was honestly a fantastic time for growth for the stream. Every single night that we played, we would get more and more followers coming in, more active chatters. The stream was on the rise. It was fantastic. But I stopped enjoying it. But does that mean I stopped streaming it? No, because the analytics to me said that these were good streams and I was doing good work. The chat was still having fun. They couldn't tell anything was different. In fact, they said it was some of the most fun they'd been having in ages. It was going really well. It just wasn't fun for me. Needing a break, I switched games and everything dropped hard. My unique chatters disappeared, my active chatters disappeared, my followers gained per stream tanked really hard. When I say everything dropped, I really mean everything dropped. I was playing Subnautica and everything about the analytics said that these streams sucked. But they didn't. In fact, to this day, my chatters tell me how much they enjoyed Subnautica. The people who stuck around for it think that some of the bits, the jokes, the things that happened, and the way I acted was the most fun they'd ever had on stream. Sure, all those people who followed me for Minecraft and were really enjoying it didn't turn up to Subnautica. But the people who did loved it, and I was having a really good time with it. I think this actually saved my streaming career. You see, your analytics don't decide if a stream has been good or bad. You do that with your content, and your chat does that with whether or not they enjoy it. Obviously, you can use your analytics to determine if a stream was good for growth, from like go lives or followers gained. But at the same time, when I played Subnautica back then, I was getting 11 followers a night. That's great. Sure, it wasn't the 55 followers a night I was getting from Minecraft, but I don't think I'd want 55 followers from Minecraft if I wasn't enjoying myself when I did that stuff. I haven't told this to my community before, but I have to be honest, if I'd kept playing Minecraft and kept doing it purely for the growth, I probably would have quit streaming. I wasn't having fun with it at the end there. Sure, I was enjoying hanging out with chat, but it wasn't bringing in the type of demographic and I wasn't enjoying myself and creating the type of content I wanted to create. So yeah, this mistake almost ended my entire streaming career. The takeaway from this is to find enjoyment in what you do. Try and balance the growth aspects and the enjoyment, because streaming is a marathon, not a sprint. You're gonna burn out if you try and rush it. Pay attention to your analytics, sure, but don't let them trap you in something that sucks. Okay, on to the next tip. It's something a little less somber than me trying to quit streaming because of Minecraft, but this one is a doozy, and I think a lot of streamers do this as well. In fact, I've heard from a lot of streamers who I've started networking with say they all did this as well. Holy balls, stop announcing things. Stop announcing giant streams. Stop announcing big sub goals. Stop announcing new alerts. Stop it. Stop it. I kept hyping up these big streams that I wanted to do, or these games that I wanted to play, or all these things. But sometimes you just can't deliver on that stuff. Sometimes you don't feel like playing that game when it comes around. Sometimes you just don't have enough time in the day to create those brand new alerts that people ask for. So stop announcing it, please. And worse than just letting people down, if you keep announcing things and then not delivering on it, in fact, you're gonna lose the trust of your community. And that is very detrimental. Thankfully, my community still trusts me because what I was hyping up were just some brand new alerts that I was gonna make myself, or if I was gonna do a particular game on stream, or now with you guys when I promised to do a video, but it takes much more work, so it gets delayed. Sorry about that. I'm working on everything I say I am. It's just, projects take time, guys. Okay, they take time. Stop asking for the videos. Thing is, if none of the stuff that I hyped up, the streams, the certain games, the videos, if none of those things got delivered, there wouldn't really be any sweat off anyone's back. However, there are streamers who do donation goals and sub goals, and now if you don't deliver on those, that's when things get bad. I'm going to talk more about sub goals later on and how I used them very wrong and how I see a lot of streamers using them wrong. But essentially, if you set up that if you reach a certain sub goal, you're going to play chat's favorite game, or you're going to do this big special stream, and then you don't deliver, or you only deliver for one stream and then move on to something else without really completing it, people will stop supporting your sub goals because they're not special. You haven't actually achieved it. As I said, I'll cover sub goals and how I use them wrong properly in a second, as well as tell you something that is very, very dumb and you're all gonna shake your head. But I think anyone who's grown a bit on Twitch will understand this next one that I'm gonna talk about. But first, I have to throw it out there. If this video helps you out at all, maybe consider checking out the rest of the content on the channel. We've got all sorts of things. We've got videos about how to grow, what the best games to grow are, what time is the best time to stream, how to set up CloudBot. We've got free overlays in our Discord, as well as over 4,000 members who all help each other out. No go lives, just pure advice and helping. Seriously, I'm really proud of that Discord. Everyone on the Stream team has done a great job with it. Jump in there, check it out. I hope you enjoy it. So what did I do that was incredibly stupid that you're all gonna shake your head at? Well, the thing is, when you first start getting your viewers, maybe you get to that first 5 viewers, or that first 10 viewers, maybe even the first 25 viewers, you get really nervous that you're gonna lose those viewers. So much so that you start trying to keep viewers that you probably don't wanna keep in the long run and might actually be hurting your growth. I've received a lot of direct messages on Twitter and other platforms about this, and honestly, I did it as well. If someone rocks up to your chat for the first time, is active, starts talking, but is making people uncomfortable, or maybe crosses the line, easy, ban them, get rid of them. You don't know them, they're not there very often, you're good to go. But what happens if it's an active chatter? What happens if it's someone who's been in your community for a while and they start acting odd? It's entirely case by case, but in small streams, small communities where you're around maybe 25, even 100 people, depending on how fast your chat is, one bad vibe or one bad egg, as some people call them, can ruin your entire stream. In fact, it can make it so people don't want to actively talk in chat, or people will leave or they won't follow, just because the vibe isn't quite right. So if that happens with an active community member, what do? Do we ban them? I didn't, and it really escalated. So my advice for this to the people who reach out to me, I'm sorry if I haven't replied to everyone on Twitter. There's a lot of you in my DMs right now and I can't open it up to everyone, but don't be afraid to put your foot down. It's your stream, it's your community, they're your rules. Lock them in and get rid of the people who don't understand that and can't fit those vibes. Banning a dozen people who are toxic or trolly or make others uncomfortable is worth it for that one person who's the right fit, who's a good egg, to make the stream feel nice. I promise. Some of these mistakes, you may be thinking, well, I'm never gonna have to deal with this, but in the future, I think you probably will. This is why I'm covering them now. But for everyone, no matter what size streamer you are, the final mistake is something that I'm sure every single person here has done at some point. So don't worry, there will be something for you as well. But first, how did I mess up using things like sub goals, donation goals, and follower goals? Well, it's pretty simple. When I first started playing with the idea of goals, I really used follower goals. And I would put up on screen 0 out of 100 followers and we'll do X. But my core community, the people who watched me that whole time, can't really help with this. They can tell people about it, ask people to follow, but that's a bit pushy. And I wanted them to be the ones to feel like they were the driving factor behind this stuff. So I got rid of follower goals and started using sub goals. So in the same vein as the follower goal, I set it up so that if I got X subs, I would do Y thing. Usually it was a special stream. For example, I had a painting stream that I organized if I reached a certain goal. But I really didn't like these either. But I'm glad I tested them out because I actually learned something pretty powerful from this. I learned that you actually get more subs on a big special event stream than you do from the sub goal building up to it. You might hear that and you might think, well, you should have set a higher goal, 50 subs instead of 25 to do a painting stream. I hear that and I kind of think I may as well just make the high quality content, the content that makes people want to donate and want to support the stream. The sub goal just felt like I was pay gating content that anyone else could do. Why would they watch me play a game and ask for subs when they could just go watch someone do a fun painting stream. It's why you'll never see me do sub-gated streams ever again, at least for the time being. I'd rather just make the fun content and let people enjoy themselves. The other problem with sub goals like this is, what if you set yourself up that you're gonna do a special stream and then you can't deliver on it? That's what I was talking about earlier in this video. For me, I set up that I was gonna do a cooking stream, and despite the fact that I even set up the entire cooking stream, tested everything and made sure it worked before I even told anyone I did that goal, something went wrong and I just couldn't deliver on it. So I had to do something else, and people seemed okay with that, but I could tell there were a few who were let down. Or another problem is, what if you set up this big sub goal to play a game or do a special stream, but it ends up being a really lackluster night? What if it goes wrong, or it's scuffed, or the game is boring? All these people who helped reach the goal might feel like it wasn't worth it. My takeaway for sub goals is, I'd rather just make entertaining and good content that makes people laugh and makes people want to support the stream. I probably won't ever use sub goals again, because at the end of the day, I just don't like them. My next tip is for everyone, whether you're an affiliate, not an affiliate, partner, doesn't matter. But LJ, you're a variety streamer, right? Yeah. That doesn't mean that you play a different game every single night. Stop playing a different game every night. Stick to something. If people find you through one game and then the next night you're playing something different, they won't come back. Play something for a week or two and let people get invested in who you are and your community, not just what the game was. If someone comes back for 5 streams watching you play Baldur's Gate or Raft or anything like that, they're probably gonna come back next week if it turns out you're gonna start a Pokemon stream or something like that. Unless it's a hard genre switch, they'll probably come back. They're invested in the community by that point. Stop switching every night. Stick to something and then switch after a few weeks after people have been invested. You'll see a few drop off, but you won't see everyone drop off like you have been by switching every night. I saw okay growth when I first started. I was playing whatever game I felt like and then doing community nights on the Saturdays. But I saw real growth kick in when I stuck to playing Stardew Valley Tuesday to Friday and then community night Saturdays. People were getting invested in the community throughout the week and then coming back to play party games on the weekend. Seriously, that's when I truly went from like 7 to 10 viewers to 35. From there, it was easy to grow in categories, but it was that first segment of 35 viewers that came when I started being consistent in a good category with community events. So stop swapping, stick to something, grow, bond, and then swap. Speaking of swapping, why don't you click off this video and go watch something else by us here at StreamScheme, or consider subscribing before you leave. Maybe like, don't forget to write your mistake you wrote. Anyway guys, I'll see you next week. How do you do outros? Apparently like that.